in the modify toolbar, the third icon in the third row, you select that. It's a pull down menu. In that you select the rectangular array. You select the object that you want to make the rectangular array, and then you press enter. Okay. So once you press enter once, the preview of the array will be created. Now you again press enter. That means by default a rectangular array of the rectangle of the square is created. Okay. Now what we are going to do is I am going to edit this. Okay, that is how we are going to create the rectangular array. For editing, you have to select the any of the square. But when you select any of the square, the whole array will get selected. Okay, and once you do the selection, at the top of the window, you have the various options for a rectangular array. In that you can specify the number of columns you want, number of rows you want. Okay, let's say I'm going to make 6 columns and 6 rows. So what you do is you change those numbers. You change to 6 and press enter. Once you press enter, then the preview will also change. Okay, and then below the number of columns and number of rows, you have a between option. That is between means the distance between a point on the first row. You can specify the distance between each row as well as each column. Okay, that means that distance will be taken between a specific point in a row to the corresponding point in the next row. Okay, so that point can also be changed. The point about which you want to give the distance can also be changed, and that point is known as the base point. Okay, so to change the base point, you go to the base point option. I'm going to select this point, this endpoint as the base point. So all the dimensions will be taken with respect to that point. Okay, so I select the base point option. You have to select the endpoint. So for that you select the endpoint snap and you select that point. Okay, so now all the distances between the column and row will be selected from that point. So 30 means in the column option, 30 means the distance between this point and the corresponding point in the next column will be 30. Similarly, in the row option, the distance between this point and the corresponding point in the next row will be 30. Okay, now if you change from 30, if you give 50, okay, then the preview also it will change. Okay, if you give 20, okay, so the distance between the rows has changed. Now if you want to change the direction, then what you give is you put a minus sign. In the between option, you put a minus sign and enter. Then the direction will change. So this is how you change the direction of the rows and column. Okay, so so the dimensions that you give, that is the distance between each row and each column, is very it depends upon the dimension that is given in the figure. Okay, so that you should be careful when you give. Okay, and so once you are done with the dimension, what you can do is you can select this option, that is close array. Okay, so these are the various dimensions that you change. Okay, no need to worry about this total, etc., because either you give the distance between the row or you give the total distance. Any one you can control. Only one of the dimension you can control, but it is better that you control the distance between the two rows and two columns. Okay, so once you are done with it, you close this array. So that is how you. Now if you want to edit, you again have to select the array and then do the editing here. Okay, so please try it.